I'm so tired, and today has been a day. Anyways, this was my first day doing my PMHNP clinical internship, and I'm happy to say that the day has been a day part has nothing to do with my internship. It's for day one was amazing. So just for reference, I go to WGU, and WGU is very good at like communication, getting you set up and making sure you have clearance and making sure you feel supported and making sure your preceptor feels supported. They do send a lot of emails. It can be sometimes a little overwhelming, but they are very, very good over there, and they're a very positive team to work with. So I do feel like from that front, I was prepared. Like nothing's gonna come as a surprise. Just remember when you're in that time and space and you're finishing up those last Psych and P classes, getting ready for clinical rotation, to field the emails because they're gonna tell you all the things that you need to do. But I will say that I did clinical rotation today for the first time. I did an outpatient clinic, and I'm not gonna say where or anything like that, just for confidentiality sake. But day one, amazing experience. Learned so much already. Just as a reference, my background is not psych per se. Like, I have some education experience teaching, doing clinical rotations in a psych facility, but not working in psych. And yes, you can still teach clinical rotations even if you haven't worked in that area. Not always ideal, but but the reason they put me there is because I was getting my master's in it. So that's also been phenomenal and really beneficial to my students as well. But for my rotation today, it was great. I got to see all different types of patients. It was really an observation day, so I was just taking tons of notes. What's required of me is not like the SOAP note thing, but just kind of documenting the patients that I see, obviously with HIPAA compliance in mind. But so that's not so bad as far as like what WGU requires of you when you're in your clinical rotation. But I found myself basically making like a SOAP note anyways, for the patients, or just like writing down absolutely everything. I think it just helps me to analyze what I'm hearing, what I'm understanding, and then I kind of like would just write questions off to the side. So it helps me to write down any of those questions that pop up. Like if there's an abbreviation that I heard that I didn't understand, I would make sure I got all the questions answered that I needed to. My preceptor was really great about that. And then I also was very like vocal about what I needed from my preceptor, like as far as like I need time to process things. These are kind of the concerns that are in my head. Some of the things she pointed out, which were really great, was like that our mental health needs to be very, it needs to be good. And granted, I don't necessarily feel like anybody's ever stops being in the process of growing and getting better. But, and I was just very transparent. I was like, some days my mental health is great. Some days, not so much, but that's okay. That's a part of life. And I think it's how we respond to things and how we cope to things and being aware of things, having our own insight. Definitely seeing these patients helps you to kind of self-assess, just your own internal thoughts, thinking about the way that you think type of thing. So that was very beneficial. My focus, I think, is really also, honing in on medications. Like, we know medications, there's like 95 in psych that you were like tried and true that you're really using. So really honing in on those, really understanding those as side effects, and what the medication can do and help with. And also keeping in mind that like I'm not there to like push meds, right? Like I'm not trying to just like force meds down someone's throat, right? I'm really working with them and partnering with them. And so that's really my focus of learning how she formulates her language and her communication to partner with these patients. And also, through asking specific type of questions to get them to consider like these are the things that probably are the best next steps for us to do. So again, I'm very fortunate. My preceptor is very, very smart. She has an ICU background, so we know those ICU nurses. Then I'm an ER nurse background, med surg, so like we know those personalities too. But we seem to, it's day one, but I feel like we gel pretty well. So I'm really eager to see all the things, how things kind of develop. I was able to sit with the team, and it was so cool to just see therapy sit with nursing, and just having this back and forth conversations, because therapy really is not that knowledgeable, I would say, about like all of, the clinical side of things, the medical side of things. And I mean, this is just my case. That could be different at different facilities, but and so being able to share that kind of insight to those things was really important. I found that it was very important to make sure that, like, we let people finish. The little, intrusive thoughts for myself are like, if the therapist is talking about this patient that I also was present for on a one-on-one that the my preceptor was doing, I don't want to like correct the I wanted to like correct the therapist, be like, oh no, I think it's this, or I think it's that. But I think it's really important that we don't, and we save that for the end so that we can hear, because maybe they're saying that because that's their perception of what happened during their interaction. And so really letting somebody finish so you can get their holistic perspective before you adding your 2 cents, and then coming in at the end and doing that so that we can all kind of sit there and be like, and draw the conclusion. So I found that was very beneficial. Another big thing that I really honed in on today was being careful not to lead the patient, right? Like in law, they say don't lead the witness. So like don't ask questions that are leading them to fulfill some kind of conclusion you've already set precedent in your mind. Like, so be careful that you're not like coming up with, this is how the patient's presenting, this is the conclusion that I think it is, let me ask these questions, and you're asking the questions in a way that kind of puts the patient in that slot. Rather than doing that, make sure that you're asking questions that are constantly seeking clarity. Because like I was speaking with my preceptor today as we were reflecting, is like it's very easy for us to have this preconceived notion about what we think things are or what we think their response is going to be. And so we're asking questions in such a way that kind of assumes affirms our preconceived assumptions. So just like don't ever assume, just clarify. If there's ever anything where like you feel yourself starting to kind of like, well, okay, so then I definitely think that this is probably it, then you should probably ask some more clarifying questions. So that was definitely something that stuck out to me day one. And I think just for a closing on a recap for day one, I think that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that like you get into this and you're like, man, I've worked so hard for this. Like, I really hope that it is everything that I want it to be, that like I'm gonna love what I'm doing. And I enjoy today. Learning takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus, which I'm drained. And I think I'm still trying to analyze in my mind if I really like what I'm experiencing. And again, this is one aspect of, psych care. So, but my mind was intrigued, and that is at its base, like that's what I can hope for. Like that's what I really want, is for my mind to be challenged and intrigued, and I want to help people, right? Like I want to help people. I told my preceptor, like, my goal is not to fix people, because I can't fix people, right? Like, we're giving them the tools to help them back to their healthiest journey, to help them, I hate the word fix because I really just like, it's like, you're broken, let's fix you. But for lack of a better word, fix themselves, right? To process things, to grow to a different, to a healthier state, to realize that they can find joy in the midst of going through things like trauma. And that, also being that person there that like says, I see you. I can do what I can do for you. I can bring you resources. We can do meds, which is not going to fix the root cause. It's going to be it helps with the symptoms. It's a great bridge for a lot of things. Sometimes meds are not the answer. But I see you, and we're here with you, and we're going to do whatever we can do and within our means to help you help yourself. So, that was day one. Sorry, I look a hot mess. I'm so tired. Like, so tired. But I just want to get on here because I feel like there's not a lot of experiences. Like, people don't talk about their experience a lot on here, for PMHNP. Maybe there is, and I just don't know how to like look them up on algorithms. I don't know. But I am gonna be coming back here, and I can't say that I'm gonna do it every day, but I'm gonna do some frequent check-in videos so that you guys have an idea of what you're kind of getting yourself into. Again, I'm doing outpatient right now. So my next rotation is, I think, inpatient with my next preceptor. So, and there's definitely inpatient at this facility as well. So they do both inpatient and outpatient. But my preceptor works in outpatient, so it is still great that I can still see that component as well. So, anyways, that's it. I really hope that like my overarching view of the day helped you to get a better feel for what to expect as you approach your own clinical. So.